What going on, everybody? David Mitchell here, and my lovely wife Valbaria, in Voice of Autism, episode 191 or 90. I mean 191.
191. You might say 911.
But me and my wife, we just got done talking about ABA therapy and why it was bad. We were just talking about that.
And stuff.
But we had a couple stuff, and you guys are probably wondering why there's duct tape right here. You want to show them?
Yeah. You know what I'm wearing right now, guys? This is from Paparazzi Accessory, where my sister-in-law works and does sell jewelries there. Am I right, baby?
Yep.
Heck, I want to show something. This duct tape that I use is to wrap these boxes right here. Excuse me, baby. This boxes right here. This is a box from Ipsy, by the way. I upcycled them. And look what's inside of this one, guys. You thought it's an Ipsy jewelry, but it's Ipsy jewelry. You thought it's from Ipsy? Nope. This is from Paparazzi Accessories, by the way. And there are a lot. Yeah. See, you don't see it correctly? And I have to resource the space and make use of the space very well, because this is just a limited space. Now I would like to upgrade this box to a bigger box that looks like this. However, babe, what I did put is this heating pad, because somebody lost the original box of heating pad. And I serve this box as a substitute box for this beautiful heating pad right here. And I told my husband, why will you buy a jewelry box
when you can make one?
Just like this, guys. See? You have any options to make jewelry box out of this beautiful sturdy boxes, and it's also sturdy. See? See? Very sturdy, isn't it? And I cut this flap here, because this is not like this before originally, but it's this wide. But I want to have a cover, a true cover, like this, what I did, guys. See? Yeah. Is it working right? How about, what do you think, babe, that I created? Because I
think it's pretty good.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And also, I created this one. I did upcycle these two boxes right here while you're about to go home.
Yep.
And also, I got jewelry that one of my favorite jewelries that I picked was this one. It's a hoopster jewelry. I call it hoopster earrings. And actually, me and my husband brought stuff from this Paparazzi Accessory via your sister, aka my sister-in-law. She came here from Tennessee, I guess.
Yep.
She came here from Tennessee, and they stayed in Ravenna for a while, and Charleston for a while, and I have a lot of like paparazzi accessories that were mixed that I've won last year, that I brought it from the Blingo, which she does live stream sometimes with Mama one point, and this was the one that I wore. And also he has a lot of gifts of paparazzi jewelries that he got from me, assisted by Missy. How do you feel about how? Do you want to tell more about it? The one
pretty good.
The one that you got before. Well, I got here on October 4th. Do you want to say it?
I was excited to show her because it was a little surprise from me to her.
And also, I include one of the jewelries that. Okay, I show you guys one. This is one of the pieces that he got for me upon arriving here to Ravenna for the second time. To Ravenna for the first time, South Carolina, second time overall. And also, I want to show them how this wedding thing that I wore in the wedding. This was the one, the tie knot white necklace. This is the one I wore in the wedding. Heck, there were a lot, and I started to love collecting jewelry. Besides wanting to collect a die-cast NASCAR die-cast, which is a little bit, patience.
Also, when me and my wife were talking earlier before we started live stream, like we were talking about ABA therapy. Didn't one thing about school and ABA therapy I had to deal with.
Mm-hmm. And me to deal with, and that traumatizes both of us.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have experienced like because of how South Carolina archaic laws are around here when it comes to schools.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a blessing that I did not have to deal with that much ABA therapy because of the archaic laws.
Baby, it's against the light. There you go. There you go.
But it was a blessing because they're the very archaic laws, and that prevented full-on ABA therapy. Like I guarantee, if I was probably in California or New York,
Mm-hmm.
I would have got heck to death with ABA therapy. Like seriously, like it would have been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I heard a lot of horror stories on ABA therapy, and I know how bad it is. And I've been through a small bit. Like it was pretty bad in elementary school. Like seriously, getting punished for no reason, flapping,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff. And heck, I'm just gonna bring it up from my childhood. First day at elementary school was awful. You guys probably heard the stories many times before, but I'll say it again. Did a program for special needs, and did it back in the time when special needs students were treated like shit or garbage. And playground for special needs was dirty as hell. There were even beer bottles. I decided because I didn't know what recycling, I already knew what it was. I was around 4, about between 4 and 5 that I can remember. I picked up a bottle and started throwing them away. One of the bottle I picked up was a beer bottle and it exploded in my hand.
Ouch.
I couldn't use my hand for a month. At school, they got away with not paying it. Like, how in the fucking hell is that right? Heck, and did they need, they would have to pay it, but because I was autistic and it was back in the early 2000s, like around 2001, 2002, it was bullshit. And I'm not even joking, it was straight up bullshit if you did think about it. Like, literally, like, I don't know how in the fucking hell that they got away with this shit when we were younger. And we're yet because I'm autistic, if I did something slightly wrong, it was back in that day when strapping autistic people down to chairs when something that would not look down upon. It is now, but back then it was not. Every time I did something wrong, just for one minor thing, they would have slapped me down to a chair. So yeah, it was bad back then. The ABA started getting less and less as I made it through up until middle school when I got my re-diagnosis. They completely cut my ABA therapy in half when I got my re-diagnosis to the high end, which I'm to call myself autistic because I am. I'm not using the autism word for myself anymore. Even though my series is named Voice of Autism, I use it to get people who are still using the term in to understand autistic people, like a little reverse psychology.
Yep.
Did to educate. That's the only reason why I'm still using the autism phrase. So yeah, but they still kept on doing it, and when I made it to high school, so it was still crappy. Still deal with it a little bit, but because I started mastering myself toward the end of middle school when I graduated, I started mastering myself, and good news is that I started realizing like I did not have been doing this, but I was a naive teenager. Like I was about I was 13, and I said, hey, there not gonna be any, maybe a few of the students that I went to middle school with at high school, but at most we gonna be me and new students with what damn good scene, because some of the students who did not know me that much in middle school, what good news is that they did not met with me in high school. So I started trying to mask myself to make sure I was not a target for people, and I end up tearing myself down just by masking myself. Which, now that I realize it, right, I did have been not masking, but yeah, but they did try a little bit of ABA therapy on me in high school. I hated it. And I told them straight up, I don't put up with baby shit. They kept on trying to do the baby shit all the way up until I was about 18, and then they realized that I started using YouTube. They probably realized and backed off, because, and heck, they probably realized when I started using VPNs and stuff. Like, yeah, I was the one who usually used a VPN in high school just to get around the system, just to get on YouTube. Yeah, I was that type of kid. Like, I did that, and I also did it in a way where I went on YouTube, and some of the teachers were like, hey, don't do baby shit to him because he can turn around. And I also had I did also got a phone, and I had a tablet. Like, I started doing little videos back in high school on my old RCA tablet with that saying I no longer have. And when that went out, they started trying to do it again. And then when I got my phone, they backed off again, realizing I can flip it around and use it against them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that started backfiring on them. And heck, my teacher tried to lash out at me by doing bull crap, and heck, trying to get me in trouble. Like, one year we had a lockdown, and I was a little bit like overwhelmed, and instead of trying to help calm me, she just punished me because I would get overwhelmed. Really, doing that to an autistic, you are no good if you do that. But every time I see her at Walmart, she just try to keep silence around me, you know? Because there was one thing is she said that I will never get a job. She actually told me that I will never get married. She said that I would not be able to learn how to live on my own. She really was doing a lot of bullshit. Heck, she even told me that railroading and dying when it really not. Like, seriously. That's awful right there to try to tear someone down for bullshit like that. But yeah, she did some shitty shit to me, like literally. Be like, heck, I would want that to target every time. Like, here, Jane, there were movies that drove me nuts, and one of them was The Diary of the Wimpy's Kid.
Wimpy Kid.
Yet, like, it was because the movie was so dumb, and the guy or the main character and his family were narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone in that movie was narcissistic. The mom, the dad, and the main character. Like, have you ever watched or read the books?
No.
Good, trust me.
You chills with that.
You would probably get the chills, and it would probably make you cringe when you realize, because autistic people, we can detect narcissism in TV show character stereotypes. Like autistic people, we can see it very easily. That when neurotypical can't see it, we can. Isn't that right? But I did not like Diary of the Kid, and they would put it on in there, and I got punished because I did not want to watch it. They tried to force me to watch a movie that drove me nuts. Jesus Christ. You gotta be fucking assholes to do that. And that what my McNettles did. Like, she did that to me. Like, she punished me because I did not want to watch a movie that drove me nuts. Like, seriously. You don't punish someone over something that can drive them nuts and irritate them. But that's what ABA therapy is, you know? But yeah. Worse yet, we had another student who was autistic named Daniel. He was terrified of birds and he acted a little childish, but I understand the reason why because he was sheltered. Like some parents shelter autistic kids way too much, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I use Daniel an example of what happened when you shelter an autistic kid way too much and keep them away from other people, like where they don't have friends. His parents, they did not realize they were doing the wrong thing. Like I talked to a parent, they're good people, did that. They don't realize it. Like there are some people who meant good, but instead they end up doing more harm than good. Like they understand now,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really trying to help him, but it is a little hard. But they are homeschooling him. But when he went to my high school, it like literally like every time he said no or he had a little scared moment, Nettles, you, I said it in my live stream from last week. She used to open the window, play bird noises because he was terrified of birds and said that I'm going to bring the birds in if you don't listen. Like, Jesus Christ.
Damn, that's stupid.
Scribes, like, that was part of ABA therapy for him is to use stuff that he was scared of. Like, it disgusted the fucking hell out of me that she did that. Like, he threatened him and
More than disgusting, dude.
abusive.
And that's torturing a kid.
Yeah, psychological.
That traumatize a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do something that it make other uncomfortable.
And worse yet, there've been a couple times that they actually hold him to the ground. Did look before they changed the rule.
Is this like because he's doing something bad?
Mm-hmm. Like,
or is they doing it for no reason?
They did it for no reason because he was having a meltdown. Autistic
You don't do that when you have when someone has meltdowns.
Yeah.
Actually,
I actually seen a couple times where they actually tackled him and hold him to the floor, and do it around 2015 and 2016 school year, and year after that they stopped doing it because I found out that they put a new law in where holding an autistic person down and doing that was now illegal against the law. So the law had changed for, but they still tried to do some shit around him. Heck, they actually made him melt down even more, where he actually broke my middle school teacher who started teaching, or like not teaching, but a helper there at my high school. He ended up breaking her coffee mug. Like, her name was Miss Hennon. She's still a good teacher. Miss Hennon is someone I found pretty good. She transferred from my old middle school to the high school. And I still find good. Met Nettle, but What I'm saying is that they tried pulling some shit around him, and it freaked him out even more. He ended up broken glass. He ended up breaking a smart board out with twice. It was so bad that his parents had to take him out of school because of how badly they were treating him. Like, he had some serious trauma because of them. And I don't know how they did not got reprimanded. They got away with a lot of shit. That did piss me off. But yeah, but that's all I have to say about my high school and the stuff that I went through there. But thing is that I will never support ABA because of awful shit it's based on. I know. But yeah, you want to say anything about your ABA? Now it was traumatic for you.
I mean, I don't know what to say about this, but there's this thing I want to do some snippets. I supposed to do it for my YouTube channel, but I didn't know about ABA until he showed to me about the bad side of ABA. But a little bit traumatic to explain until proven that I've been reflecting a lot of times, a lot of stuff like this. But here's the thing: my worst experience with ABA was, being in a special school was a double-edged sword for me. Because one, I wasn't able to speak that much as I do right now. This is the different veil. The original veil that you never see was not that untalkative, wasn't able to speak up, and I was an easy target because knowing that I wasn't able to speak up and fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Way back in my elementary, I never spoke much in school. Okay? That resulted in me being an easy target for bullying by vandalizing my book while we do book work. Like, they vandalized the one page of the book, and my mom didn't know, or she never had any action about how my situation in that school happened. And also, after years in my kindergarten, that's the time I ended up going to a public school where I feel like, okay, I feel fine, but I'm with more neurotypicals, but it's a different environment right there. The one I'm telling you, the public school, guys, was a government-funded school. Also, it sounds vague, right? But I'm just saying that between the first school I attended and the two schools I attended, they're both mainstream schools, by the way. But most of my classmates are neurotypicals, and most of the teachers will not understand about autism because they think autism, somebody who's crying, somebody who doesn't speak up, that means, oh, they had mental problem, but we don't. Okay. Also, going to special school, on the other hand, was also a double-edged sword. Because one, when you do something wrong, this is also my observation towards other kids in the same school. Okay, in the same special school that I've attended for 5 years. Here's the thing: they got into the point that when somebody is doing wrong, they will be punished. They will taken away one reward, or they will jokingly tell you to carry 100 toys back to the toy archive room, which was a little bit funny. But for us kids, if we kids have feelings too, we have feelings even if we're autistic, and we were treated crap by our own. That's something painful. That is hard to explain, but for us kids in that special school, it is just overwhelming for us. That, for me, I'm sorry, babe, to reverse the card. ABA should supposed to not to put it in the bad image, but to put it on the good use and it's not
It
something that is punishable and stupid.
what it should be doing to help when we're in stressful situations, but instead it's used for trauma instead. Like how ABA therapy is used, like it's used for psychological abuse and tearing an autistic down. Which, if you want to help an autistic, you don't tear them down. You don't punish them. You help them with when they're stressed out. You try to figure out what it causing them to have a sensory overload and what it helped that are harming them. You help them with that. You don't punish them over it.
Can I go back to my story now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you interrupted. I didn't interrupt you while you're sharing your story
Yeah,
anyway.
you're right.
Nah, no, but I respect y'all. I respect you. You don't do bad. You're not in trouble. But going back to my story, I don't know where to start now that my brain farted.
Oh,
Oof.
sorry.
There is this in special school where to the point that where we were throwing tantrums, we were asked to sit in the corner and face the wall, and it was a shame for me because instead of having your own space, there's somebody behind you. There are a lot of people behind you saw you crying. That's it. There is also the good side of it, but they teach you how to do life skills. This is my experience in special school, babe. Okay, this is how you teach yourself how to speak correctly, how to public speaking correctly, how to solve problems, and also how to do basic life skills like cleaning, washing dishes, going to a grocery, buy some food, the correct way of doing it, and how to spend money wisely. Okay, now I'm giving it the positive side of it. Also, there's a bad side of it. Like I said, like
Mm-hmm.
he said, she said, and also in all the community, the autism experience ABA, majority of the experience of ABA are bad. Now going back now transitioning to first grade until fifth grade. Here's the thing. I became a rebellious person because I felt that this ABA won't help me and I don't know who I really was at that time. I don't know who I am in that course of the time. I was being like a bad girl. I did the opposite that I put my feet into one of the teachers. I kicked her, and honestly, I kicked another teacher too. Resulting from for me, it's either a torture or too much trauma that happened to me in ABA. I didn't know that ABA tortured me, and resulting of not being outspoken when something happened to me, I wasn't able to speak up. Also, thinking that I have fear that they will not accept me because I have autism. Result because I don't speak correctly, I don't answer the words correctly, I don't answer their questions correctly because they don't understand autism.
Yeah, and if you should not be punished if you can't speak properly. Like you don't punish someone. You don't.
And also in my second grade, it was a reverse psychology that the reverse cards played. Actually, second grade, third grade, they I'm so sorry to say about it. That's the time I experienced bullying there. That I know I studied in a school where it's a Catholic school. The education system is complicated there, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Way back in grade two, where I also juggled since first grade, special school and mainstream school all together. That developed my multitasking habit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very special thing for me as a person with autism, though. Even if people's autism should focus on one thing, but to me, it happened in reverse. That all of them
Mm-hmm.
can do anything in one place.
Yep.
Another thing was way back in grade two, it was something complicated because I'm also classmates with my twin brother.
Yep.
And also Like, teachers should teach somebody like me to stand up for myself,
Mm-hmm.
especially when somebody's bullying me. I know we were kids. I know we don't know what we're doing, but like, the stage of confusion was there, and also I wasn't able to speak up that much until I am asked to answer a particular question. Yet I still passed some of the subjects. I still pass with subjects even if I'm not that sociable. I still have the social anxiety in me. That developed that social anxiety way back when I was in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Even I never spoke to my parents that much. I mean, I don't speak much to my parents. I was often alone. I never been with my siblings playing with them. But that started when I play with the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the third grade, it became worse when some of my classmates now are graduates in college right there bullied me, and that started to build I started to build my insecurities in me. And there's some of my classmates who bullied me graduated in college. They even cheered for my brother. They even greeted him a happy birthday over me. We're both have my twin and I celebrate the same birthday, and yet who guess what? Who they greeted a happy birthday? Only my brother, myself. Only my brother, and others think that I'm not existed to them anymore.
And how did they laugh at you on your birthday
Not
and bullied you on your
not
birthday?
really laughing, but they cheered on my brother. They say they side with my brother because they think he's the best rather than me. That gave me, and heck, even my brother took it badly about me crying because I am being bullied, and even blamed me for that. I was blamed for that. That oh, it's your fault because you don't like. And heck, he even wanted me to be normal. Even me, he wanted me to act like a normal, but I cannot act like a normal.
I'll be honest. If my sister did that to me, my mom would have torn her up.
If
Like,
sorry, if I have the mind to tell my mom that I want to go and transfer to another school, where there are a lot of somebody's gonna accommodate someone who has autism, but I wasn't able to say that because again I wasn't able to speak up.
mm-hmm,
I don't speak up much.
that's the thing about ABA therapy right there.
In grade four, on the other hand, it became worse. I was accused of vandalizing, saying this teacher is an idiot in the Filipino language at the back of the blackboard. Even if I didn't do anything, I was accused and I was being yelled at for no fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
They think that autistics are dumb, autistics are stupid. I know autism. Sorry, guys. Autism education is lack in that school where I studied, and that resulted in me being a rebellious freak. Right there, I did stuff what a bad person does.
I'll be honest. The first two elementary school I went we treated autistic people like dumb. Like we would treat it like we were idiots back in my first two elementary school. I'm sorry, babe, but
Excuse me, I'm not done talking. I gave you that. I remember.
sorry.
Another thing that this teacher happened to be my advisor accused who asked me if I was the one writing about that, but I said no. And that's the time that when my mom was being called out by the guidance counselor, even myself, I wasn't able to speak up about it because they know that I could not speak up for myself. So I was ended up being the blame for that incident, even if I never did that.
Mm-hmm.
And my classmates even call me, shout out to Debs. You calling me noisy, Vel? Like, she's one of the person who bullied me for like he liked my brother. She liked my brother, and she even called me noisy. We all make noise. Miss DB, you may see me as a sweet person, but this time I have the right to punch this in your face.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand. And you even tell me, I'm gonna tell my mom. I'm gonna expose you to my mom. You are a graduate of computer science. But
Oh, the
that
brain.
and you don't talk to me and you don't apologize to me because you even call me noisy and you're even bitchy to me. I'm sorry, dude. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm gonna echo it back. I'm gonna echo what Calvish did to his haters in Kansas. You want to do it again? You want me to do it again? Huh? You want me to cheer my brother in it? Oh, come on. And heck, I'm still being sweet to you, still be friends to you, but look what you did to me. Um, y'all may calling me a bad girl, and to my brother right there, you may call me weird and bad stuff about me, and you want me to be your property. I am not your property, jackass. Come on. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I don't want to giggle, but I'm. Come on, come on, man. Come on, come on. Get out of
Yeah,
my way, bitch.
I have to agree.
Oh. Say something bad.
If I mean, you did right.
I mean, I cannot get this out of my chest for a long time, and I want to say it to you straight, Twin dude. I know past is past. Past is past, but the traumatic, the imprint, the traumatic
trauma.
imprint, the trauma could not be taken away. I know you don't. You move on like you don't care, but somebody is hurting from your family side. But I'm not trying to be mean. You can put it that way. But heck,
Mm-hmm.
hey Debs, hey Debbie, you want my brother, huh? You call
What?
me noisy?
Was he a teacher?
Classmate.
Ah, elementary school.
Yes.
Since he went to high school with y'all.
Yes. I know I maybe offended somebody, babe. I'm sorry.
You're not.
But I'm just being honest here, guys, okay? I didn't mean to harm anybody, but I don't want to drop names, but I just want to drop some screen names, okay? But whoever you are, know who you are. When you're resonated by this, then don't get mad about it. Because you one day you'll realize that I'm gonna be the best version of myself. And heck,
Mm-hmm.
I forgive you, but I don't forget what you're doing. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I could not I cannot say it well, but between you, you betray me like a property. Screw you.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing. Like back in grade 5 and grade 6, I know we are young, and there's this guy named Marco Polo. I put it that way. He
Mm-hmm.
even tripped on me and saying that Mike has the most beautiful handwriting, Camille has the most beautiful handwriting than me. We all have different types of handwriting, Marco. And yet, another bully named Charles, who cheered on my brother,
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. Your brother did bully you too. With
and he even told my dad that I did something wrong, but I didn't do it myself. If I had the chance to, I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna be snooty, right? I'm gonna be Karen, call it that way. I'm gonna kick his butt.
Mhm.
Oops.
I know what you mean.
Red alert. Like, if I had the right to fight back, I wouldn't have done that before.
Well,
Like, there are people who bullied at me, and I was even in Debbie's enemy list. Okay, I don't care. Like, she's beautiful, but she doesn't have a heart to apologize to me and to show remorse. And there's this name Charm and Hirsch. Like, sorry, babe, I don't want to do drop names, but I cannot do it anymore. I cannot hide it anymore. Like what you did to your, you know, bad seeds.
I know.
They do not know that autistics can be honest and autistics could be expressive and autistics can also feel. You know?
I know.
They way back in grade 7, they even backstab me. Even if they don't mention my name, they will ask me, "Oh, did we mention the name?" I said no. That was about to cry, and they got away with it. Like, what in the world? And good thing, way back in grade 5, I was still able to get accepted in that Catholic school. Originally, I really wanted to transfer in another school that could accommodate autistics. But my mom could not seem to understand that. And going back to my 7th grade experience, I don't have any experience the bully from the teachers, but this time from the students. Until they found out that I can sing. Way back in grade 8, my old elementary near typical best friend came back from Obi Montessori. And there's this awarding session called like school year and awards where you have special award, but I don't believe in awards like that in classroom. It's just a classroom based award, but I don't believe in that. What I want to do is do what I'm supposed to do. They saw me as the most behaved person, but I was the most controlled person. I was the most controlled student in the class. Yes, I was always classmates with my twin brother. Until they know about autism, and yet they don't know autism. In my 3rd year, that's the time that I grew up, act up, get my act together, and speak up by my singing, doing singing stuff. Where I got my first singing, school-based singing win, 2nd place. And when I got into 4th year, that's the time I told them straight before we all graduated. This is in 2011-2012 school year where I'm a 4th year student with my brother. I told them straight. Is this what you learned from your parents? They realized that I can speak up. After 10 years and 9 years of not speaking up. But that's the good experience. There is also a good experience with the Catholic school I attended, which was some of the teachers supported me and helped me throughout the course. Even if I was being bullied by my classmates, they saw me as if I kept going forward, moving forward, and they realized that I can be independent. And heck, that thing that I wasn't able to speak up for 8 years rather. That started actually 8 years. Actually, I never spoke up. In my 3rd year, I was able to spoke up after me and my nanny fight way back when I was 14 years old. Way back in 2010, way back in 2020, this is outside school experience that I performed with a trio group.
Baby, I need to ask. Did your mom force you to have a nanny up until 14?
Yes.
That's not right.
Even until 17.
That's it. You do realize she embarrassed you right there.
I didn't know until you told me.
Heck, my mom will let me stay at the house by the time I was 11 and 12. And I'm autistic too.
And my mom would not even allow me to try stuff that I wanted to do. She would even let me stick to singing.
I'm just saying
I
that
was
is.
like, I almost in 2010. That's my worst year of my life. I wanted to quit singing because of the incident happened to me in that autism organization that I've been served for 8 years.
I'll be honest. That's it. That's it right there. To bullying and
7 years rather. I'm sorry.
unless her doing that to you, that was it wrong. I'm just saying, a parent who forced a kid or like a teenager who is nearly an adult to have a nanny when they're able to do stuff on their own, that right there is bullying and embarrassing and humiliating.
She even called it safety.
It's really not safety. It's really bullying.
Actually, there's this nanny who hurt me physically with the fish toy. I have a birthmark. I have the pain mark right here.
Mm-hmm.
I have makeup though. And my mom told me, "Oh, why did you speak up? Why don't you speak up about it?" I
That
wasn't able to speak up at that time. Remember, I told her. I remember I didn't able to speak up, but I was able to speak up when I was only third year high school.
that that might happen to people who go through ABA therapy, like
ABA also has worse benefit: mental delay. My mental age at that time in high school was like 6 year old. My mental delay in college was like a high school student. Honestly, yeah, I'm serious. I realized my mental age today is like a college student. Even if I'm married to you, I look like a senior high school student. I'm serious about it. But I'm 26 now, guys, but I look like a high school student because of resulting of mental delay, resulting of too much
and
ABA.
the ABA can actually do far worse with mental delays than anything. Like literally, people don't realize that, but yeah.
And also, I have this plans that I want to do in life, and they don't want to listen to me about it and don't support about it, but they say stick to singing, stick to singing. I mean, you don't revolve your world to singing all the time, even if you can talk to other singers if they revolve themselves to singing. No,
Hmm.
no, please. I should have done doing this stuff my part from my vlog, but
You can talk about it on your blog too, you know.
yeah, but I'm sorry if I make clues, I expose names, but I didn't mean to harm anybody, but I was just saying my thing out of my chest. Because I guess I bottle stuff up since high school and since my childhood. But to put it bluntly, good thing I graduated with special awards and loyalty award in Catholic school. And there's the good side about my experience in school. I told them I have autism. Autism is not a disease, it is a neurological disorder.
In the brain.
Yeah. I've learned that autism thing in detail in college when I was second year. As a result, I got my fundamentals of psychology B plus. Yeah,
Hmm.
that made me want to become a psychology major one day. Yeah, I want to be like Dr. G. Yeah, anyhow, but to put it seriously, seriously, guys, um, how would I put it this way? I'm gonna be a bad girl. I'm gonna be a bad girl. I want to bad out. The reason why I channeled this bad girl image, I got inspired by Cal Bush. I know.
Hmm.
I know. I'm a Cal Bush fan. I got a crash on Cal Bush. I had a crash on Cal Bush in
But-
the 18 Toyota Camry. But baby, excuse me.
Okay.
There's also another thing that I want to say. This bullying thing continues in college and in the choir. In college, I mean before I'm telling college experience, I'm gonna tell you the happiest things I've done in high school and grade school. In high school, I have the best things that I have after lots of turbulence in life because of being autistic. There's this sister who have a heart to help me out, to be strong and to have faith in God while in the midst of stressful times because of being autistic and being bullied. And I have to the point that I wanted to let go of my identity being autistic just to fit in with them, which was wrong, and I realized that.
Yeah.
The reason why going back to the 2010 event that happened, this is an outside school related, and babe, you interrupted me again. All right, not trying to be mean.
I know, but can I say something? I nearly did the same thing too. Back in high school, I nearly.
You said something
I'm
already.
sorry. But I just wanted to say about how I nearly gave up my identity being autistic.
Oh yeah, sorry, babe.
Like, I nearly gave up being autistic back in high school, and I realized that that's something I should have not done, and I finally realized it. But yeah,
And way back in 2010, like, I remember, like I told you, babe, that I've been performing with this trio group by force. It's not by passion. We did it out of slavery, slave treatment. We were given slave treatment. With two other girls who have experience in singing. Two of the other girls who are good looking, who are taller than me, and I am the only fat girl in the group. Don't say anything, babe, first. Let me a moment. Way back, there's an impromptu performance. We were asked if we could perform in a group. While myself, a 14-year-old Velbaria, never had enough singing technique. For me, I didn't have the good singing technique, to be honest, but I keep pushing myself to sing with them and for the organization. Because knowing that we represent this autism organization, and I was the first female singer, female talent with autism in that organization to perform firmly for seminars in relation for autism conferences in the autism organization, which was the blessing that I was the pioneering female performing artist with autism. Well, they have the first. Most of the talents are males, and predominantly males, and they have a band where they never perform for them anymore. Another thing, this organization made me so happy to perform for them until 2010 and 2009. Actually, 2009. I started to grow insecurities in me, telling that am I a good singer or not? Do you think I have to give up singing? I'm like, I'm about to give up singing and do something else. But I cannot fail my parents. I cannot hurt my parents, but I realize that it is part of growing up. I'm not a quitter, but if I have the opportunity to do something else besides singing, it will be entering diplomacy to represent United Nations, represent autism community for the United Nations and speak up for them. But it didn't happen because my world revolves around in singing, and my husband was right about it that I miss absolutely everything. I never did some things that I want to love in my childhood, and I want to do something that I love, and I love to be free before I became responsible. And I didn't know myself at all. I didn't know who I was. I was just a property of other people for now. I was a property of other people, but I want to know who I really was. And I want other people to understand that I can be myself because I can feel and I can also have the freedom to be myself. I know it's mistaking, but it should not be a bad thing to be myself. Shout out to my parents. I want to be myself. I want to graduate college. I want to have a stable job. And I want to be an independent person. And also, what taught me in 2010 was if you don't know how to do it, then you don't push yourself to a certain thing that you don't know. I'm a pusher. I push too much. And if I don't want to be in the group, they will continue to do which was happened in 2011. To the point that I want to finish school because I'm on my third year high school and I don't want to juggle like singing gigs and studies. Because if I am full of excuses, I might be subject to suspension and expulsion. And I might not be able to finish high school. And I did finish high school, like I said, with flying colors, with loyalty award. Even if I don't have the opportunity to perform, I just let them be. These two girls performed. They continued until 2013. And they even had an award in Brunei. I'm happy for them. But to me, being a singer, honestly, like to me, I might not be a popular singer, but I just want to be inspirational to everybody. And I continued my college. That's the time that I continued college. Like I try my best to educate people who don't understand autism in college. I want to educate them about autism in any way I can. That started bullying. The bullying thing started in college when they tried to set up like they bullied me. There's this one of my classmates already transferred to another conservatory of music. She was so mean to me. She gaslighted me and guilt tripped me. And they even treated that they're gonna be sweet person to me, but it is just traumatizing to me. But they said everybody makes mistakes. Yes, it is. It is true, but it depends on what mistakes that you're making. And I was also called by this guidance counselor to ask for a diagnosis of my autism. And there's this contract that me and my mom signed together. If I was a threat to the community and to the school, I will be withdrawn immediately because of being autistic. There's some autistic college students graduated on time without being called a threat. And just because I am viral in one of my videos that I made, it was removed quickly in a national TV show. I just want to see myself if I can inspire people in the other way around.
So wait,
Some people took it against me, took it against it, but some are appreciative about it. I just want to make people laugh. I just want to be. I realize this kind of thing that everybody appreciates it, everybody hates it. It's neutral. I realize I have a talent for being a comedian.
babe,
And
I need to
also,
ask.
excuse me, let me
Um,
let me finish. I'm brain farted now. And also another thing that this bullying continued, that I was busted the someone that I wanted to be, that this guy wanted to be my boyfriend, but didn't happen. He ended up having a relationship. Now that's his wife already. They have kids, and he's my choir mate in the church until I left the Philippines. And all, I mean, we're good speaking terms, but I say no, it's for the better. But he's also the one who hurt me because my voice looks ugly. And music school is full of competition. Originally, I don't want to take up music at that time. I want to take up special education and international affairs, international studies or diplomacy, formerly known as consular and diplomatic affairs, known for being outspoken and to improve my speaking skills and to represent autism across the world. It sounds rude to my parents, but I wanted to become an inspiration for every people with autism. And she said, my mom said, that dream school that I wanted to, she cannot afford. But the other school she can afford, knowing because I'm into music school. Music school is worse until everything changed in my gap year. When I came back, before my gap year began in 2015, we had a retreat when there's another sister who happened to be my spiritual favorite, the one who cares for me every day. I talked to her. She said I was having a heart of a child, which was true. And I hope your mom understands that I have a heart of a child.
I know.
We all have heart of a child. And sometimes your mom cannot accept it.
Baby, I need to ask. Did they actually remove your thing from TV?
What were you pertaining to?
What you were talking about earlier that got removed.
I'll answer that question now. So the one that removed from the TV is foreign languages because they knew that I love foreign languages. Like I love Chinese, I love Korean.
But you did record it and saved it to your YouTube channel.
No. No, I didn't. Don't make up stories. Yeah, my dad just took it out, and heck, my mom didn't even took out my favorite Japanese idols off of them, and because for them it's a distraction for me. But it's not. That's another side note right there. But in my college, right back in my retreat, there's a sister called me having a heart of a child, which was way back in 2015. 15 when we did when Pope Francis arrived in the Philippines, and that sister who called me, who pertained me to a child who was blessed by the Pope, because she saw me that I was alone, I have nobody else to talk with, and to me, I understand, I got used to that, but she found out that I was left out, thinking that nobody would love me for being who I am, and
I found it on your old channel.
okay,
You want to show them?
nope, that's trauma. Heck, that is special thing to me, and everything changed. But I was expecting that's for a show. But speaking of that video, though, but there's this friend of mine who became to me like a spiritual mother to me. She agreed about my decision of leaving that trio group.
She go from 2010 right
Yes,
here.
exactly. But
That was
2011, that I talked to them that I wanna resign from the group. I posted it on Facebook, and there's this mentor, so-called mentor, who I've been with since 2009 because her student was also a fellow singer like me, saying, does she want me? Does she want? Do I want her to embarrass me in school because I just resigned from that stupid trio group? I said no. I was even crying. I was even about to melt down. I was even about to kill myself. And I developed insomnia because of insecurities that I have in my life and since high school. If my parents could listen to me, they would my real emotions about how I get along with them and how do I feel with that group, they will completely understand. But they didn't. They just want me to be there because of opportunities. They don't. I mean, I don't do it for the sake of committee or commitment, either with opportunities or not. But I have another thing in mind that I wanted to do was to take up diplomacy and be like normal people. Like, I don't want to become a singer, honestly. But honestly, that's 2010 to 2012, 29 to 20, 2009 and 2012 was the worst year for me. Worst years of my life. Worst years of my fucking life. Oops. I have friends. I have kids who I have fans who are kids. I'm sorry.
most of the people who are subscribed to me are teenager and adults.
But
Mostly teenager and adults on my YouTube channel.
I'm not being mean, babe. I'm sorry to speak this out, but
It's okay.
it sucks. I know past is past. Forget the past. My mom said forget the past and excuse me. I want the past to expose, because I don't want other. And heck, I even felt bad for other talents with autism there in the Philippines from my batch that they weren't able to be appreciated like the way we were appreciated. I mean, I feel bad for them. And heck, and that gave me the motivation. If I had a chance to do a concert, I would even get people, talents with autism in the Philippines who were not that appreciated, to do their thing and be appreciated and feel the way that I was appreciated for. Now, the same way that I was treated is the same way they wanted to be treated too. I'm the girl who wants equality, And that trio ended in 2013, and I began to be a competitive singer, and still my trauma days are not over. Even if I wanted Anka, I have another traumatic experience with Anka at one point that that I thought that we will have a good negotiation, but something happened. Other issues. I thought they will help me, but there's one friend of mine. Shout out to Liz Preacher right there, that she helped me, but I understand what the former founder has gone through. I understand, but I'm sorry we exposed the truth, guys. If you can hate us, I mean, if you don't like us for being truthful, we can take it. At least we do what we're supposed to do. We mean business here.
Also, we are friend of Rimrath. You remember Rimrath?
Nope.
From Rimrath World Autism?
I don't know if I'm friends with this person, but yeah.
Actually, you are.
But
I am too.
But with Anka, I have good experience with them. I was able to represent Philippines very well. I was able to share my talk with them for the first time. I was able to be an ambassador for them. However, there's like ups and downs with the organization that must be addressed.
Warm wrap.
Support system is really important to the organization. You know, we fight
Warm
each
wrap.
other, but we help each other at the same time. Like if it weren't for Anka, I wasn't able to get my redemption that I needed so bad. Even if
Warm wrap.
Anka, founder, and I had a misunderstanding, me and my husband have misunderstanding. Okay, we are not perfect persons. We are not perfect. We all make mistakes, but we need to admit it, acknowledge them correctly. That's what I learned.
Mm-hmm.
But Anka helped me to continue my advocacy in autism and also miss possibilities. Even if they saw me that I don't look autistic, actually, I have autism since birth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I think they weren't able to post 2015 and 2019 because I think I was there. I don't know if they had bad feeling on me or what, but if they're happy for me getting married to my man beside me, why don't they post those videos? It's just, I don't know. It's just heartbroken. I'm really happy to be with this organization to do pageants for them 2 times, but and like I said, I never get the title
Mm-hmm.
itself, so I got heartbroken, which was understandable. Even some people did their best, but they weren't given the reward they deserve. I feel you guys, but love me or hate me, or love us or hate us, we understand. But we just want to be honest, and we fight the real enemy. Because
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, we don't know how to tell the truth. We don't know how to be honest. We don't know how to be genuine to other people. I know it's stressful, and it's not just because of ABA. It has something to do with other people who are neurotypical to understand situations time to time. And with that missed possibilities 2015 and 2019 experience, it the 2015 missed possibilities. I wanted to go back to school, but I have to wait for 2 more years to get my siblings graduated. But my mom told me, "Oh well, I promised to let you study in college if all the siblings graduated." But guess what? I never had any chance until 2017 that I applied for a scholarship in the church. Actually, it's not necessarily a scholarship, but it's an award because they knew that I've been associated with this church for 5 years, for about 3 years in a row, 3 years at that time, and I feel happy that I got my redemption back. Besides Anka, I got awarded also for community achievement twice. Even though there are a lot of people, all of my people in the category deserve more than myself. Okay, I even asked the founder of Anka that I really wanted to study in Canada, but it didn't went well. And Anka gave me a motivation to connect with other people in the autism community, especially my special friend Yura, whom I never talked to for a long time. And I have good friends from Ukraine, which is my favorite country to visit and to represent for in Eurovision Song Contest in the future. Here's another thing that I told them I really posted on Facebook a lot of times, even in this vlog that I made, Autism and Me. I want to go study diplomacy, but it didn't happen. It's to continue music. 2017, 2018 second semester, I came back to school until 2019, 2020 school year, the first semester, where I did my recital to complete the certificate program. But my mom thought that I am a graduate, but I'm not. I'm still on my 3 semesters left, 5 sem left. Then I'm complete with the certification. But I'm currently on the status of uh, I'm currently on the status of one day share my fundraising for my studies in order for me to complete the certification.
Yes.
I know there's some students are doing online classes, but most of my subjects I'm taking up is all online supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom promised me, and she told me to delete that post in 2020, and I did it quickly, but She even brought up Donald Trump's name to
Mm-hmm.
gaslight, but she promised me to. She promised me that if I have a status, she can give me school and to support me studying. But it's too late. If she loves me as a person, you will see me being a successful, independent adult, not a
Mm-hmm.
dog puppet, not a sock puppet. Because if I'm a sock puppet to my mom, that is something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Narcissistic. Read my mind. Narcissistic brat.
Yep.
Oof. That's an example. That's a way. The suggestion of a narcissistic brat right there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially myself, I'm in a situation where I was homesick. That's a result of me and my mom having usual fights that my aunt didn't know. I'm sorry to expose me, but
I know.
I cannot I cannot hide it anymore now. If she's sorry for everything, she would have gone realizing that, reflecting things of what I said, of what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
But where is it? And she even asked me to do live stream to get paid, but I am figuring things out first on how to secure opportunities in another country. Especially, I was also in the moment that me and your mom
Mm-hmm.
misunderstood each other, disagree with each other. I never get used to her, which is honestly true,
I know.
but which is part of life, part of growing up anyway.
That is true.
You know, a real parent would even listen to their kids' dreams. If they're really, there's this term called, this is what the source is, Barbie. Thank God there's Barbie existed. There is Barbie post existed about, I'm so sorry if I'm gonna do my receipt showing, that the dream gap. I guess with that narcissistic attitude my parents had, there's this dream gap in me that wasn't able to finish my studies and left the country abruptly, where my conductor was disappointed about it. I even tried my best to approach them to reapply for a scholarship, but still they need my parents' signature. Also, that's the reason why before I get married, I really have to finish my certificate studies because number one, I might change my last name. I go by Velbar Mitchell, but I still want to go by Velbaria because for the Philippine papers though, because I'm not finished with my studies. Okay? Even there's this, the one who supported me in the scholarship said, if you finish at least a certification in a reputable school, you can go places with certificate program. You can even teach kids with autism. You can even teach a choir. You can even teach church music in any church in the United States and even in other countries. But it didn't happen. And I wasn't able to finish that. It is just like you've been invested your time with this person you love, and then this person you love was taken away by another person. That's really painful for me. I would rather lose opportunities as a singer rather than losing opportunity uh, to go and value education. Even if I am into singing, I still value education a lot. Even if it's any programs that I want to take, like diplomacy, special education, and you know, anything that is related to my favorites and my interests, education is still important. Even if I have kids, I will not allow them to get married if they will not graduate and they will not have a job. Like what he is being told by my mother-in-law. Before you get married, you have to have a job. And to me, ABA didn't traumatize me as a kid, but it traumatized me as an adult. Us as an adult, rather. I think both of us were lacking life skills since we were living in respective family homes. I lived with my family ever since until 25, and I stayed with my aunt until I got here October 4th. And I shouldn't have learned that I really have to have my life skills as an independent adult before I get married, but it didn't happen. You want to say something about babe?
It's it wrong and awful.
And Mama once told me this. My own mom should have told me, explain it correctly on how it's like to be an adult.
Mhm.
Want to say something now?
That when you're being an adult, you sometimes you gotta sacrifice from being a kid when you're turning into an adult. Isn't that right?
Yeah, but for us, we weren't able to sacrifice being a kid because, honestly, especially myself, I missed everything. I really missed everything. Like before I became an adult, I wanted to be a kid again and do what I wanted to do. And I know we're not getting any younger, but I'm the kind of person who wants to take life very slow but surely. I hope y'all understand that. What about, you want to say something?
Like time, time people want to be kids.
Uh-huh.
But you do have to grow up. You don't have to forget about
The
being
fun.
the fun, but you do need to grow up. Isn't that right, babe?
Yeah, but I don't know how to grow up. Honestly, as a person, I don't know how to grow up.
It all depends.
Yep.
It-
All the things I should say in my vlog, it should be, it's done, it's gone. Oh my
you
god.
can still talk about it in your vlog.
I don't know what to say now that I lost it. My brain muscles is moving so bad.
Alright.
But anyhow, it's understandable, but never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to say something about...
If you ever have parents who are and people who are abusing you, and you're autistic, like me and my wife, look toward our people in the autistic community and activists.
Mm-hmm.
We can help you, like literally. Like if you have parents who are abusing you because you're not the kid that they wanted.
Like me, my
Mm-hmm.
mom wanted me to do what she wants me to do, but there's some things that is out of my will. I'm not trying to be mean.
But yeah, I hope you guys found the video motivational, educational, and a lot of stuff because it was a deep live stream, and I hope you realize from the live stream what people in the autistic community go through on a daily basis. But this live stream went very deep. Isn't that right, baby?
We all did. This is the deepest live stream ever. Besides the wedding thing last year, the prenup last year, this was the deepest one.
Yeah. But I hope you guys find it motivational, and I hope to encourage you to work on being activists and making the world a better place for autistic and autistic, making it better and getting our voice out there because we've been doing this for years and we've been slowly making waves. And we want to make a better future for next generation of autistic people. We will fight to make the next generation better. Or like make a better generation or not a better generation.
You'll fight for future generations to come.
Yeah, we'll make a better future for next generation of autistics.
Oh.
But yeah, and that's something I hope everybody can understand and find motivation because we've been working hard on it. But yeah, now I hope everybody having a great Saturday morning. I hope everybody having a great Labor Day weekend or like Memorial Day, not Labor Day, but Memorial Day weekend. And I hope everybody And looking forward to all the stuff that you're finally being able to do because all the restrictions are finally being lifted from COVID outbreaks.
But we have to be sure that we still need to follow the restrictions because you might not
Mhm.
know, but you might be someone who's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some who are vaccinated. I mean, I know they're going nuts on it since the restrictions are going low, but don't be complacent. Let's
Mm-hmm.
avoid complacency because you might not know there are a lot of people who are sick. Yeah, that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But just be careful.
Mm-hmm. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed the live stream and find it motivational, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Mm-hmm. Have fun.
Bye, guys.
Oh my god.